Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Andrew, or Swerve. Today's gonna be a little bit of a different video. There is this one movie, and it is called School of Rock. One of the greatest movies that I've ever seen. I grew up watching this movie and I've always just thought that it had like some of the best original music, some of the best acting, and some of the best performances in a movie I've ever seen. Not only that, but I think the movie is just like completely underrated. So for those of you that haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend watching it before you watch this video because I am gonna be getting into some spoilers and like what the movie's about, all of that stuff. Take my word for it, if you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. This is a great movie. It's got great acting, great performances, great live music, great singing, great music, great everything. It's just a really good movie, the narrative, everything. It's great. There was a remake that went to Nickelodeon in like 2000 and whatever. I watched a little bit of it when it would come on TV and just, yeah, it exists. So I mean, there's not gonna be much that I'm getting into in this video, just about like everything that I love about this video and why I believe it is such a great masterpiece of a movie, super underrated and all of that. This won't be as long as the Megamind video because I did have a lot to say about that in a very negative sense. But here I'm just gonna be going over everything that I believe is good about this movie and what I think, in my opinion, makes it so great. Starting off, I mean, it would be a crime to not include Jack Black's performance in this movie.
Okay, who's got food in here? You're not gonna get in trouble. I'm hungry.
What I love about him in this movie is that he just completely acts like himself, as he does in every other movie. I mean, if you've listened to Tenacious, that's Jack Black's band. He loves rock, and that just makes him the perfect character to play Dewey Finn, in my opinion. Almost every scene that he's in, I'm pretty sure it seems like it's improvised, and it just seems like so Jack Black. It seems like he improvised most of the movie, if I'm gonna be honest. And just the chemistry between him and these child actors, including Miranda Cosgrove, by the way, is just such good. Like, their chemistry together is perfect. You have these kids that are acting like these shy, preppy kids that go to school. The last thing you would imagine them to do is to be in a rock band, right? But yeah, I mean, honestly, I just think that Jack Black as a character completely killed this role and made the movie what it is. So I wanted to just take a second to go over the plot of this movie and how it kind of connects with the overarching theme of being passionate about what you love to do. There's one thing that these students and Dewey Finn have in common, but they also are very different. At the beginning, you get to see Dewey's life. You get to see that he's very passionate about rock and will do anything but give up on it. He mentions to Ned in one scene of the movie that rock is his life. What is he gonna do if he can't make it big in rock? It's like he's not giving himself any other options out. He wants to do rock. Rock is his life, and he will do anything to basically succeed in that. So he's passionate. We got this guy that's passionate about rock and will do anything but give up. And then you have these kids that are prep school kids. They go to grade school and it's a preppy school. Very personal to me because I went to a preppy grade school as well, and everything was kind of by the book. I kind of felt like I had like no escape from it, and I kind of had to live my life a certain way. And this is what these kids were doing until Dewey came along. You have this school that has like this strict code where they have a very specific uniform, very specific and strict rules. And then this lunatic, this rock lunatic, comes in and just starts teaching them to get outside of their comfort zone. And he basically forces their hand and takes advantage of the fact that they are kids, and he's the substitute teacher. But in a way, you have this guy that knows to never give up, who comes across these kids who are like by the book. They have to do everything that they're told, and they can't really like figure out what they want to do because they're just going by the school code. And obviously this is something that many kids realize or will realize later in their life when they get to high school or college, that they're destined for greater things. But for someone like Dewey Finn to come into these kids' lives and teach them that they can be anything they want this early in their life is such a great message. You have these parents that are completely outraged at the end of the movie because they find out that this guy who has been lying about his identity and teaching their kids, taking them on field trips about rock and like not teaching them anything about school. That is the one thing that I wouldn't find believable about this movie, is that there's not one parent that found this like completely outrageous and like didn't want their kids to see this guy anymore. This guy that basically took them places and taught them things and lied to these kids. But it's just like it's such a powerful message, and it really makes for just such a strong plot to have this guy who gets made fun of, never gives up, loves rock, isn't by the book at all, just wants to kind of like live his own life. And then this group of students that are by the book, super uptight and preppy, don't even know these things that they're like destined for and this greatness that they're for. And not even like the members of the band, like you've got the one kid that like does the behind the scenes effects. These two students that are like the main guitarist, he has like the bass and then the main guitarist. The girl that's like does the bass, she played the cello and he played an acoustic guitar, but they're just so similar that he was able to like see inside them and see like, you are destined for great things and you can do whatever you want, you just don't realize it yet. I just think it's such a great message. Not only would it be a crime to not include Jack Black as a staple of this movie, likewise it would be a crime not to include the music. Holy crap, I just watched this movie last night and I still can't get over how good this music is. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that these children and Jack Black actually performed all of this. And not only the music that is original for this movie, you got the music that plays throughout the entire movie. Some of my favorite rock bands: Doors, The Who, Ramones, Led Zeppelin, T-Rex, for God's sakes. I mean, it's just such a good movie, and they use the music in such a perfect way that also like goes along with the plot. It's just so brilliant. And then you got Stevie Nicks, of course, that like played a role in the movie when they were the principal, Sheila from Shameless. He was like, Dewey Finn was trying to get her to come out of her comfort zone, and apparently like she loved Stevie Nicks and like loved rock herself until she became a principal and started to be uptight. So you have this subplot of Jack Black's character is hiding the fact that he's teaching these kids rock as a substitute teacher instead of actually teaching them. And he's doing it all behind the principal's back, and this principal just so happened to love rock and like became this uptight character that completely changed when she met Dewey Finn. Their song that apparently was written by one of the students, Zach, was a great original song that they performed in the Battle of the Bands ending show. It's like Rock Got No Reason or Rock Got No Rhyme. Those are two of the lyrics, but like that might be the name of the song. And then It's a Long Way to the Top if you want to rock and roll. I'd say that the overall message, the overarching message of this film is to have passion and be passionate about something that you like to do. You see it from the start of the movie. You see Dewey Finn as a character. He's in this band. He's a good guitarist. He's good at doing what he does, but he always goes a little bit over the top. You know, he was showing that he did stage dives and just act like a complete like lunatic on stage basically. And his band wasn't into that, and so they kicked him out of the band. He wrote a song about it.
Well, you think you'll be just fine without me, but you're mine! You think you can kick me out of the band, and then Zach, you come in with a face melter.
Such a good song. See, that's what I'm talking about, like with Jack Black as a performer, like it just, he definitely improvised that song, come on. Then you have the characters of like Zach, Tamika, these characters that are like very shy and controlled by their parents, at least Zach is, or like Tamika, who's too shy to sing but is like a great singer. You could argue that at first what Dewey Finn did was very selfish, and he took his friend's job as a substitute and started getting paid for it and took advantage of these kids to basically just give himself a free band. And I really think that that's just like an amazing trope, is that like at first, you know, he was trying to just like use these kids to have a band, and like they're kids, you could easily take advantage of them. But then they realized that they actually love doing rock. They love being out of their comfort zone and have a passion for this thing that Jack Black's teaching them. The message to follow one's creativity and like get out of their comfort zone to do something that they're passionate about is a very strong message in this movie, and I just think it's delivered so well. Not only that, but this movie just left a very lasting effect on pulp culture. I know it was turned into a musical in 2016, it was turned into a show, not a good one, mind you. And this movie, I've heard, has become a reference point for musical education in many different classes. And I can't record this video without talking about the director. Richard Linklater, I think I'm pronouncing that right, plays a very crucial role in the story, balancing the serious aspects, the fun aspects, and the funny aspects, and combining it to make one perfect movie. This film knows when to take itself serious and when to not take itself serious. It has overarching messages like what it means to be a kid, what it means to tell the truth. I just think that Richard had this really good vision that worked out very well, where he wanted to explain an overarching message while at the same time touching on some deeper themes, while also like having a lighthearted tone. That way younger viewers can enjoy this, and also older viewers. I just really think that this movie is perfect, and this is why I think that the School of Rock rocks. It's just like a perfect narrative, perfectly blended together with comedy, great acting, great performances, great music, and just everything. Definitely worth a watch, guys, if you haven't seen it. And that's really all I wanted to say about this video. If you haven't checked out the movie, please go watch it. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone that wants to watch it. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.